What if the biggest decision you're making on health insurance is based on the wrong question? Most employers simply ask, what's the best price I can get? But here's what you should be asking instead. What strategy puts me in control of my costs? I'm Rich from Benesmart, and we help mid-sized employers stop the overspend without cutting benefits by fixing their funding model first. In this video, I'm going to break down the three major funding types for group health plans: fully insured, level funded, and captive self-funded. I'll show you where they're similar and where they diverge, which type fits which kind of business, and most importantly, how each one impacts your bottom line. Let's get after it. Let's start with the basics. First up, fully insured. This is the standard model that most employers start with. You pay a fixed premium to the carrier takes on all the risk. In return, you get limited transparency, zero claims data, and minimal flexibility. They control everything. So who is fully insured right for? Well, it's right for small groups, usually under 25 lives, or businesses that want predictability over performance. Sadly, you can predictably count on high costs. It's not for employers who want long-term control or transparency. Next, level funded. Think of this as like your halfway point. It looks like fully insured on the outside, but underneath it operates more like self-funding. You still pay a set monthly premium, but that money gets split into three buckets: claims, administrative, and stop-loss insurance. And if your claims are low, you might get a refund at the end of the year. But trust me, you're going to want to read the fine print on that. Level Fund is right for groups with 25 to 150 employees, or employers who are ready to dip a toe into risk sharing, or maybe employers who realize the importance of data in their business decisions. But it's not ideal for companies that want long-term control or real data ownership. And finally, captives. This is strategic self-funding at its finest. You self-fund your health plan, but you share the risk with other employers inside of a captive arrangement. With this model, you get full data ownership, vendor flexibility, and the potential for long-term savings. Captives are ideally best for employers with 50 or more employees, or simply companies who are done reacting to renewals and want to start playing offense. But it's not for those that aren't comfortable with carrying a little bit of risk, or for those who want a completely hands-off solution. So let's dive into how these models actually compare. Let's break it down by category. So with risk, fully insured, you own zero risk. Level funded, you share some. And with captives, you share risk with others strategically. When it comes to data access, fully insured unfortunately gives you nothing. Level funded gives you partial data and often delayed access. Captive gives you full real-time access to data to help you better manage your plan. Transparency, very low with fully insured plans. Medium with level funded, extremely high with captives. When it comes to cost control, there are no cost controls with fully insured plans. There's some with level funded plans, and very strong opportunities for cost containment with captives. When it comes to vendor choice, well, in a fully insured arrangement, the carrier chooses who the players are in your health plan. For level funded, you can sometimes end up with a hybrid setup, but most often you don't have a say who those vendors are in the level funded health plan. And then for captives, you choose who you work with, from the TPA, the PBM, stop loss, all of it. The upside potential? Well, there is none in the fully insured plan. Maybe a little in level funded, but it's shared. And in captives, it's significant. Now, let's talk about the downside risk. Well, with fully insured, the carrier takes that risk on now, but you pay for it in the future by way of your renewals. Level funded, you share the downside risk, and then captives, it's capped and you control the game. Now, let's talk about savings. Here's the truth. Switching your funding model won't magically save you money, but it does set the table. It creates the conditions that are right for savings. Let me show you how. With fully insured plans, your cost is locked. Your carrier margin plus your inflated network rates gives you zero flexibility. You're just hoping for a low renewal. With level funded, there's a small chance that you'll get a refund, but again, those refunds are usually shared. And the game is still rigged with spread pricing and baked in margins. Now with captives, this is where you can take real control. You design the plan, you pick the vendors, you eliminate misaligned incentives, and you keep the underwriting profit instead of the carrier. Let me give you an example. We worked with a 150 life manufacturer on a level funded plan that was being charged $35,000 a month for just 3 drugs, and they moved to a captive. In year 1 alone, they saved $215,000 on just their RX spend. So how do you know which model fits? Well, here's a few questions to ask yourself. 1, how much volatility can your company handle? If you want zero risk, stick with Fully Insured. If you can handle some, then level funded may be your bridge. And if you're ready to play offense, then captives are your game. Next, ask yourself, do you have claims data? If not, you're flying blind. If you do, great. Now you can actually model your risk. 3, do you want vendors reporting to you, or do you prefer that the vendors who work for your plan report back to the carrier? Fully Insured is hands off, but without oversight, it gets expensive. Captives may take a little extra effort, but they offer ROI where others don't. 4th question, are you willing to change the ecosystem? Because this is where real savings happen when you unbundle and rebuild the supply chain the right way. Picture this. You know where every dollar of your plan spend is going. You're not just watching a renewal come in, you're actually forecasting it. And you're not stuck with a carrier's network. You get to pick who delivers care. You're not punished for good performance by paying just a little more next year. You're actually rewarded. That's what happens when you align your health plan with your business goals instead of the carriers. So let's recap. You now understand the core differences between fully insured, level funded, and the captive self-funded model. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, but staying in the dark, that's the most expensive option. If you're not sure what best fits your business, let's talk. We'll walk you through what may and may not be a fit. We want to look at your current setup and evaluate the right strategy for your team. I'm Rich at Benesmart, and if you're ready to take control of your group health plan, schedule a call and let's build something better.